UK became irate over their nail salon bill.
Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Decoy Voice. Women, you're so privileged in the West, you think you could take that entitlement to all these other countries and act the way you do? You have a rude awakening. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
At a nail shop in Bali, Indonesia, two women on vacation from the US and UK became irate over their nail salon bill.
You know, I used to run a nail shop and used to do nails, my ex-wife too. I've experienced shit like this all the time, you know? So seeing videos like this of women going to other countries to do this shit, it makes me laugh because I know they're about to get thrown the book. But where's the money?
I tried to be reasonable. Yeah? I asked you several times. Let me outside. And now I'm trying to get money. You don't know what I'm going outside for. Why were you trying to hold me hostage?
Well, why would you go outside? You had all the whole time to be able to get your money and get everything straight. You added extra services. Now you can't afford it.
So days after the incident, these two were quickly apprehended at the airport before they could flee to Thailand.
Trying to run.
So the Daily Mail reported that the woman claimed they were held hostage, as they referred to them as backpackers without enough money to pay the staff, but also allegedly tried to take cash from the salon as well. So just 2 days later, they were arrested at the airport trying to conceal their identities, and are now facing charges including maltreatment and forcing others to do something, which totals over 3.5 years in prison. As the
Ouch.
Twitter replies talk about how in Central Asia, the laws actually apply, in contrast to the US and UK, where the rules typically don't, wishing that the US would do the same. Now, I think there's a fine line between law and order and a dystopian police state, as the idea of maltreatment getting you 2 years in jail sounds extreme, but I think their penal code translation is closer to assault than just bad treatment. And
Yeah.
that actually makes more sense. I just think it's
I mean, she did assault the worker. She went and fucking grabbed her and like shook her in a sense. It could be considered somewhat of assault.
be pretty shocking for these ladies if they indeed get 3 years in prison over nail polish. But maybe that's why we don't see many videos of unemployed behavior popping up out of Bali, as there's plenty of footage of nail salon customers simply walking out without paying in places like Long Beach, California.
I told you guys, this shit happened all the time. We happened to have, my ex-wife and I, we had a nail shop in Pennsylvania, in Lancaster area, in the mall. So it was a nice area, nicer area, pretty white, rich, well-off area. And we'd still get shit like this.
And even across the entire continent in Toronto, Canada.
See? It's because they get away with this stuff. And no consequences has ever been done against these women. And this is why they do it all the time. This is why I can't let women spout stupid shit in front of me. I need to clamp that shit down.
As a lot of Americans seem to feel completely comfortable not paying at Asian establishments in general.
And I'm not trying to be racist, but as you noticed, all the videos, and even me personally, it has always been black women that has been causing this issue majority of the time. Maybe not all the time, but majority of the time. It actually makes your community look horrible. It really does. Like, how many times it's been a black person that's done these particular things on me and my own shop almost all the time. And there's very, very little black people in that community at the time. And this is what's making your community look bad. Women like this going out, trashing people, trashing people's establishment, trashing people's work, trashing people's livelihood, thinking because they want free stuff. That's not how the world works. You earn for your shit. Asians know this very well. That's why we work really hard.
But But what's interesting is on TikTok, there's replies with hundreds of thousands of likes pointing out that they should have known or done more to stop them. And even
What do you want us to do against people? We can't stop them. Like, if anything, we put any type of like force on them, we might get in trouble. People are crazy. Like, the laws in California, I mean, not California, but in the United States are very different. They don't protect the owners that well. They really don't. I've had donut shops, I've had gas stations, I've had nail shops. Law has never really helped me out in that great of a way.
even go as far as thinking they need security guards or use the same door buzzer locks used at banks. So notice how the EBT class went from
Right? It went from it's our fault that us owners have to do all these extra things to make it so that this thing doesn't happen. Why not just tell people to not do these things? Because these are bad things. You shouldn't be doing these things in the first place. Now, because there's very few people that do it, I have to pay money out of my own pocket to add security, to add buzzing doors and stuff. Why would I want to put buzzing doors? That is so unfriendly coming into a nail shop. Would you want to go to a nail shop that you have to get buzzed in every goddamn time? That is awkward as fuck.
The police should stop prosecuting people for petty crimes, to when you're the victim of a petty crime, it's somehow your fault. And now, you need to protect your nail polish the same way banks secure hundreds of thousands of dollars of cash. And I'm sorry, if you need to protect nail polish behind an armed guard and 2 levels of ballistic glass, you no longer live in the civilized world, and at that point, I don't even think you need your nails painted. So sad to say, how do we avoid a society that needs to secure the salon like Fort Knox, throwing the book at the thieves that think the rules don't apply to them? As interestingly, look at why Indonesia has lower crime rates. They cite lower unemployment and higher human development, as they boast an increasing clearance rate on their crimes reaching over 70%, compared to the US, where even serious crimes barely scratch 60% in the best case scenario, but more frequently sit at 10%. In comparing Indonesia to the US, we have 5 times the robberies, 3 times the number of jailed people per capita, but interestingly, the same amount of foreign prisoners. It's almost like the justice system can work as a deterrent when you allow it to actually work. But for some reason, deep blue parts of the country decided that certain crimes are fine because of social justice. But that birthed this new phenomenon of Americans going to places like Indonesia and Japan and are now looking at several years in prison for what America would tolerate. And
I mean, it's also the entitlement of American women. This is why they go to these other countries. They have the same entitlement that they think that they have at the West because they're women. You know, race aside, it doesn't have to be black women or white women or anything. It's just women in general. But again, it is a pretty one-sided thing. Men aren't going out there doing very similar things to this. Men go out there, we know we'll get fucked if we go to another country and fuck around. And we don't get normal jail. We'll get the men's jail, and that's going to be a lot more rough than these women's jail.
Companies inside the country needing to employ their own Costco brand Indiana Jones just to protect the people that the justice system won't. So if you appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription, then go check out the video on that Kirkland brand Indiana Jones.
You know, it's crazy, right? That people really have to say these things to make people... Whew, that was justice, you know? Not a fan that they got the 2 years. I think it's a little harsh, but it's their country. It's their rules. It's their laws, and you broke it. Now you have to abide by it. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.